Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our daily get together. Not daily, we don't do Sundays, but our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at the recent headlines from our city, from our state, from our country. Good news, sad news, important news, useful news, along with all the knowledge that we exchange here at Coffee and Headlines between us, your questions, your suggestions, your ideas on how to have a great time living in Puerto Vallarta, a connected time as a community of English speaking locals. And this is what we do in our broadcast. We exchange information that hopefully makes us more inspired, more nurtured, more eager, and motivated to enjoy our lives. So let us hope that today is the case in which we do that again. Today is Monday, November 22nd. And as always, we'd love to invite friends that join us for the first time to let us know that you are new so that we can give you a nice little welcome. You can let us know that you are new by writing the word new in your comment. We will review these later on in the broadcast. And of course, if there's something truly important that you wish to mention, it helps a great deal if you add the letter Q at the beginning of your comment. In this way, we can make sure that we included. Look at how lucky Jill is. She is at the pyramids of Teotihuacan outside of Mexico City. That is absolutely wonderful. I have fond memories of visiting the pyramids. How wonderful is that? Anyhow, we will take a look at all your comments in a little while. But first, let us dive into the news. We have a bunch of juicy stuff that we wish to share with you today. Hang in there. Okay, apparently the time has come for the Cuale Market vendors at Hidalgo Park to vacate the premises. You may recall that when Hurricane Nora damaged the market, a fair amount of vendors were temporarily relocated to Hidalgo Park to continue being able to sell their wares, but that was months ago, and now they are expected to move, and the move was detonated by the fact that, number one, vendors have been reluctant to return to the market, and the fact that surrounding permanent businesses have raised their voice calling unfair competition. I read in the article that the vendors argue that the market is not ready to go. Honestly, I couldn't tell you if it is or if it isn't because I haven't visited the market for some time. But the fact seems to remain that it is time for the vendors to go somewhere else, and we are hoping that this relocation will be one without incident. Moving right along. Remember the cannabis law reform? It seems like it was a year and a half ago that we started talking about this shortly after we launched Coffee and Headlines. Now the Senate has prepared a new initiative to reignite this reform with a new modification that was distributed this past weekend among all political parties. The modification would require individuals to request a permit from Mexico's Cannabis Control and Regulation Institute, and yes, there is such an entity, to be able to carry between 28 and 200 grams of weed without incident, and to be able to plant up to 6 plants at home. Whether this will fly or not, it remains to be seen. 200 grams is nothing, if you ask me. I mean, that's more than enough for yours truly to be a happy individual for 8 to 10 months. So let's see what happens there. Now we have some sad news. Puerto Vallarta has suffered a terrible loss with the passing of Doña Yolanda Contreras Montes de Oca this past Saturday. She was 93 years of age, and she was the daughter of Catalina Montes de Oca, who moved to Puerto Vallarta in 1918 and went on to write one of the most endearing and celebrated books on the history of our city. She is survived by 3 children, Javier Humberto, Yolanda, and Hugo. And in recent years, her daughter Yolanda took it upon herself to translate her late grandmother's book to English, and a new edition of the English version was scheduled to take place in less than 2 weeks here in Puerto Vallarta. So Doña Yolanda's passing is even more heartbreaking considering this timing. But we find comfort in knowing that much of our city's history will live on thanks to these beautiful recollections. No information is available at this time as to whether the new edition event will be rescheduled or not, but we will keep you posted. Given the recent woes that Seapal has endured with water shortages in Colonia Conchas Chinas and other areas of the city, the question of what happened with the construction company responsible for the landslide on Santa Barbara Street has resurfaced. What happened with the construction company? As you know, they were supposed to repair the damages, but that was 4 months ago. Unfortunately, as it is commonly done with local news reports, the question was published, but not the answer. And speaking of Seapal, you may also remember that early on, when the new administration began in Puerto Vallarta, there were some grumblings over the fact that the accountant for the company had deposited some strange monies in the union leader's personal bank account. And when these were questioned, the Seapal union leader stormed into the company's headquarters demanding an explanation about why he was questioned. Now it turns out that there is more to the story and that the corrupt union leader has been amassing a not so shabby fortune. And when questioned, he is nowhere to be found. All I can say is what a good thing it is that these things are now increasingly questioned. We like that of the new administration. Governor Alfaro will be in town tomorrow to be part of an event hosted by the National System for Integral Family Development and the Federal Secretary of Health. He's scheduled to be joined by our mayor, so we hope something good will come out of that. There's no specific agenda other than that we know our governor will follow, but if any developments come out, we will be sure to let you know. And before we tell you why you should avoid Costco this week at all costs, let us dive into the weather. It's fracking sunny again, isn't it? Maybe a tornado will spice things up. Well, that is our snarky weather forecast service being optimistic as usual. It is 28 degrees right now, feels like 29. Humidity is at 64%. Ugh. And our temperature in Fahrenheit degrees is 82. What can we expect for the beginning of this week? Well, it'll be a humid day today with a high temperature of 32, low temperature of 21. Tomorrow, Tuesday, humid through the day again, high temperature of 31, low temperature of 20. Wednesday, it'll be humid and partly cloudy, high temperature of 30 and low temperature of 20. And I'm sorry I was smirking, but I saw Heather's comment about how the local news sources consider it newsworthy to post a question, but do nothing to deliver an answer or some kind of follow-up information. This is unfortunately more common than you would imagine. Whatever happened to this, whatever happened to that. And now, here's the reason why you should avoid Costco at all costs this week. the gas station started operating this morning. So you can just imagine the frenzy of curious individuals that are going to be making long lines to get their cars inspected and their oil pumped and whatever at Costco. If I was you, I would wait until next week. Mind you, you may think, it's only happening in the parking lot, so people will not be crowding the store, but I'll bet you Costco will be a madhouse all this week. So if anybody dares to go to Costco and cares to give us a report of how things are looking over there, we would be so very happy to learn it from you. And last but not least, these are really awesome news. It won't happen until February, but great news, something to look forward to. The Grand International Charo Award. Oh my God, my pronunciation. Let me try that again. Grand International Charro Award, that's better, has been announced to take place in our city from February 2nd to February 6th of next year, and charros from the entire country and some from the United States are expected to participate, hoping to win awards that add up to 1.5 million pesos. Now, what kind of tournament can you expect from charros? Well, remember that charreria is a national sport in Mexico, being able to control your horse, being able to do games with your lasso, and so forth and so on. And there's all kinds of skills about making the horse move about in certain ways that are part of the sport. So it'll be a beautiful thing to watch. Let us hope that our conditions together with other people are such that we're able to actually attend. The event is supposed to wrap up with a huge parade, and we know how things have been going with parades as of late. But again, we still have a few months between now and February to see how our ability to move about as it relates to COVID-19 continues to change and hopefully improve. Now, let's take a look at your comments, if we may. Lots of good mornings, as always, and it's always a pleasure to read you. Uh, this weekend's lesson was brought to you by the reminder that when those loud trucks that go by announcing that they are there to sell you something or provide a service, sometimes it pays to stop and pay attention. If Logan doesn't mind it, I will elaborate on that. I understand that Logan had an old refrigerator sitting around, and there's this truck that goes by, and I've seen it around my house. Um, and they will take your old appliances and buy them, even if they're not working anymore. So I think Logan was able to get like 400 pesos from an old busted refrigerator, which helped to pay for our margarita bill yesterday. Hooray. So there you have it. Let's see what else we have. Biding bum boom bum bum. 6 more sleeps till I return to my home in Puerto Vallarta. Good for you, Margaret. May your travels be uneventful. Da, 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 da. Sorry to hear about the vendors leaving Parque Hidalgo. It's been so nice to have them in our area. Well, true, but they belong somewhere else, and maybe the park is needed to schedule other things. Why do we know? Let's see what else. Da, 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 da. No cue on this one, but of course we're going to show this. The developers have no incentive to repair the landslide damages until they get approval to restart building construction. Well, that may or may not happen. And so the way I see it, I don't think we're going to have Santa Barbara Street back anytime soon. Although the government has the responsibility to fix the streets. So I think the government is going to delay fixing the streets until they're able to squeeze as much as they can from the construction company. So it's going to be what do you call it in English? A tug and pull, a pull and push. It's going to be a facapta situation. That's what it's going to be. Thank you. Buenos dias, Paco. I already did my shopping at Costco and got my butterball turkey sausage and sage stuffing. I don't know if you went this morning, but if you did, it would be lovely to find out if it was too crazy over there. Michael says December 20th can come soon enough. This must be a uh, a time for your arrival or something like that. Bill asks, how can Facebook change the way we're able to see comments by other cluster people? I don't know if this is a question because of something that you're experiencing right now or not. What I can tell you, Bill, is that I, as a host of a live broadcast, have the ability to control who can comment or who cannot. But above and beyond that, I'm not entirely sure if your question refers to something specific or not. If you have a specific problem that is going on that you'd like to let us know, please do so. A tug of war. Thank you, Renee. I knew that it was something like that. Thank you very much, Dana. Dana. I hope it's Dana. Um, and the annual passes to Spartacus going to be refunded now that it burnt down. Thank God no one got hurt. Yes, the gay bathhouse burst into flames sometime over the weekend, and fortunately, nobody was hurt. I'll be going to the Charo event if it's not canceled. That makes two of us, Julie. Bill responds, I only see a few comments now and then. It could be something to do with your transmission because I am seeing the events moving up and down without incident. Joe clarifies that the bathhouse did not burn down. They will reopen in a few weeks. Thank you for that, and good luck to them. Kathy has always wanted to go to the Chatroo event. Maybe this year we will be able to go. Den, if it involves some heavy lifting, we'll make sure that Kathy gets to the Chatroo event without a problem. Let's see what else. You guys are so knowledgeable about bathhouses. I love it. The Spartacus people have said that repairs will only last a few weeks. And Albert gets a little sassy by saying what some queens will do to get carried off by a fireman. Well, that is sassy. That deserves one of these. Sure, why not? Comments disappear after 5 seconds. Not sure if there is a setting that we can change. It is certainly nothing I did. So I don't know what that feels like at your end. And I think that's really bizarre that comments are disappearing. But again, this is not something that we changed. But I may be looking at other live events and trying to check that out just to see what it's like from my perspective. And this, my friends, is pretty much what we have. This week we have a Taco Tuesday. Yes, I did my homework. And we will have a Taco Tuesday tomorrow. We will have a Walking Wednesday on Wednesday. And because Pitillal is so wonderful and fabulous, I think it will require several visits between today and Friday so that we can really make the most out of our exploration of downtown Pitillal. And this is going to be a lot of fun. It's something that I'm looking forward to. I wonder what you guys are going to be up to this week. I hope it's going to be a good week. I know that this is Thanksgiving, American Thanksgiving week. And I know that some people have been asking about where to go, where the turkey is, where you can get take home, or turkey delivered. If anybody has any Thanksgiving tips that you wish to share with others, by all means, we'll be asking this in the next couple of days because, you know, the date is right around the corner. And I know that Thanksgiving celebration is important to a fair amount of people. So we're happy to create connections whenever we can. So this brings us to the end of another fairly compact coffee and headlines. And I hope you got what you came looking for. We'll be back tomorrow with more information, as always, between now and tomorrow or the next time we get together. I hope you will be happy, stay kind, stay calm, stay healthy, and stay in touch, which is the most beautiful part. So enjoy the beginning of your week, and let's get together soon. Have a great day.